since they're the outgoing party and I hate them, let's see what the liberals had to. So I will note that O'Toole put out a video, Singh put out some kind of
God.
video, Trudeau wrote something. So here's what Trudeau had
Did
to
a
write.
video too, did they?
Nope. At least
That's where I saw a video.
if they did,
Or a
would
tweet, maybe. I don't know.
yeah. I did not see a video. At least Trudeau himself didn't tweet one out. Maybe the Liberal Party of Canada directly did, but I don't know. So here's what Trudeau had to say. Workers have been, and always will be, the backbone of our communities. They built our towns and cities. They connected us with one another. First by building roads and rail, and then by telephone lines and the internet, so workers do things. Okay, we get it. Amidst constant change and uncertain times, they've always stepped up to keep our communities going. And now, the strength and determination of Canadian workers will help us finish the fight against COVID-19 and build a better Canada for everyone. Okay, sure. Canadian workers and labor activists have always pushed to make our workplace safer, more equitable, and more just. It's just ironic knowing that their government continues to force
Yeah,
people back to work constantly, but
like I can't look at any of this without just thinking of like the Montreal port strike that was legislated back to work earlier this year.
postal
The
workers are the obvious one.
the postal strike, yeah, like that's the big one.
Yeah.
And perhaps are we touching on some of that later? Something related to postal workers? Are you reading the article I sent?
Yes, I've read most of it, but
Yeah, okay.
I don't necessarily pick up on what you're picking up. Oh, student?
It's got posties in it.
Oh, yeah, it's got the postal workers in it. Okay. I thought you were talking about like an addition.
That was it. That was the only
Yeah,
connection.
okay.
That's all I got.
Canada's labour movement advocated for many of the benefits and protections that Canadian workers rely on today, including a universal public healthcare system and fair wages, and we are committed to working with them to make life better for Canadians. When the COVID-19 pandemic hit, our workers had Canadians back, and so did our Liberal government. We kept them on their company's payroll or provided assistance so they could continue to pay their bills and keep food on their tables. And when vaccines were developed, we worked around the clock to secure enough doses for every eligible Canadian 2 months ahead of schedule, even though they screwed up the release of them, to allow a safer return to work and school. And we'll see about that.
Yeah. Mo also is saying like workers here as being
Like an
treated
other.
as like an other. Like those workers over there, as if the reader is not a worker, but rather just a liberal piece of shit.
Yeah, pretty much.
Which is true. Like it is very like I'm talking to somebody about something and like talking to them about workers, which are a separate topic altogether. Like
It
separate
it
from
it
the people I
has
am speaking to.
it has the feel of management looking down from up high, but like workers. It has that feel.
Uh, I mean, the Liberals are a managerial party.
Yeah. The Liberal Party of Canada is unwavering in its support for Canadian workers through the pandemic and beyond, and takes pride in supporting
Die.
workers and labor activists on important measures that make our workplaces better for everyone. That's why our plan has always
I
included measures to support workers, create jobs, and grow the middle class. I mean, like,
I want to die. I hate
yeah,
this.
how? I will note,
This
like,
makes me want to kill myself.
the thing that I loved about the post work strike was like one of the major things that they were pushing for was that they had the upcoming Christmas season that was going to happen when they were doing their strike, and they were like, we get injured every year because there's not enough of us to fill every role. We get overworked, and then people get sick due to stress and other things, and therefore there's few of us to do the route, and therefore a lot of us have to work overtime and other stuff, and we get injured. So they were petitioning the government to, in the contract, hire more staff so that it can cover their shifts, and you wouldn't overwork them and injure them. And they refused to do it, and instead forced them back to work for that Christmas season. So support workers? No. And they don't even support workers' health. They were like, fuck you. What's more important than your health and your well being is that you deliver your fucking present. So, liberals. Since 2015, we have been focused on delivering real and ambitious change that puts workers first. This includes bringing in pay equity legislation so that women and men can count on equal pay for work of equal value, repealing the anti union laws brought in by the conservatives. They haven't fucking done anything on that front. You've been in power for 6 years and you haven't done a fucking thing
Yeah.
about it. Hate liberals. Especially like all this of just like, oh, it's but watch out, the conservatives are going to ruin everything. If the conservatives ruin everything, we then elect you, and then you do nothing, and then you still get to fearmonger about well, if you elect the conservatives again, they're going to do worse things. Yes, but like, could you at least reverse the shit that they did, please? And cracking down on contract flow. I didn't know that that was a huge deal. We're going to build on the work we've done since 2015 to create more middle class jobs and opportunities for Canadians. We will provide 10 days paid sick leave for federally regulated workers. Enhance the Canada Works benefit to put 1,400 back in the pockets of up to a million more workers. Implement $15 federal minimum wage, which is not sufficient enough anymore. Train and better support personal support workers so they earn a minimum of $25 an hour and build $10 a day daycare across the country, which will bring more Canadians, particularly mothers, into the workforce. This Labor Day, let's appreciate Canadian workers and the many challenges they overcome this past year, and let's continue to work together to recover from the pandemic and leave no one behind. I wish all Canadians safe and happy Labor Day. So wildly insufficient is what this platform is. This
Let's recover from the pandemic that is over. Yeah.
yeah.
Um, it's kind of shitty though in some ways because isn't the NDP also only promising 10 days paid sick leave and $10 a day childcare?
Yeah, but the question is why haven't the Liberals done it?
Yeah, I know, but it's just kind of like, come on, like
Like,
you
yes, the
can't run
NDP
on
can do
like
more.
yeah, like running on like, oh yeah, we're gonna actually do what the Liberals say they do isn't
Are they?
enough of a platform, you know?
Are they? I can't remember. I haven't followed up on the NDP's platform, but I feel like we've increased it during conventions the $15 to be more than that. But
I don't know.
because I
Don't
know
really seem to care that much about convention.
no, I just know that like I don't know what their messaging are, but like clearly, I mean, here's the thing: if you've been fighting for the $15 minimum wage for the past like 15 years, maybe it's not sufficient anymore. You know, I mean, it's been more like 10 years since they've been fighting for it, but still, $15 is no longer sufficient, and we know that. So, time to move off of that. Anyways, that was the Liberals. Thank you, great Liberals. Jenna, oh my God! All right, we know what to do to you.
Oh, see, I didn't get that one. So that was
Genitals.
yeah, got him.
Yeah. Nah, just they're gonna get me to read tricky puns all the time. I rather just remove the hazard. So I don't fall for it. Uh, so let's watch what Aaron O'Toole has to say. Look at him. He's ready to tell us about Labor Day. He's gonna tell us to get a job.
This Labor Day, I'd like to recognize and thank all the Canadian workers out there, including our heroic frontline and essential workers. Today is about you and celebrating all you've done to keep us safe and healthy. Last year in my Labor Day message, I promised to stand up for working Canadians, to promote solidarity in our economic recovery, and to forge new relations with the labour movement. I'm proud to say our campaign platform, Canada's Recovery Plan, delivers on that commitment.
Does it? I'll tell you, the labor movement wants nothing to do with you. Like I have to say.
I think O'Toole's gonna be our next prime minister.
He might be, but
Like he has a little like for a conservative, he's got for a conservative in Canada, he's got a lot of charisma.
Oh,
Like, look at
yes.
Harper, look at Ford, look at everything like that. But also, like,
He's also
he
more of a
definitely
liberal
hits
Tory, but
the
like, which is why I
yeah.
think he's been
But
able
it's
to sift off liberal voters.
yeah, that, and I also think that like voters want the prime minister to be like their dad, and Scheer kind of fits the bill. Like, I think if Trudeau should have kept the fucking beard, he would be still leading the polls. I gotta say.
Should we like
Anyways, sorry,
psychologize
these are
like all the candidates? So we got your dad, and then Trudeau was representative of like the preppy
yeah,
young
like we have
person that your parents will approve of. And I feel like Jugmeat is the person that you bring home that your parents don't approve of.
no, like I literally think it's just like O'Toole is like your accountant dad. Trudeau is like your cool dad who's like, I don't know, maybe he's like, I'm trying to think of like fun jobs.
No, I feel like Trudeau would be like
He's
entrepreneur
a
dad.
teacher. Yeah, but like, he's young, he's hip, he's still with it. And then Jagmeet is like the actually cool dad who like
Yeah.
skateboards and whatever. Yeah.
You heard it here today, folks.
Govern me
Vote
hard.
actually cool dad. Govern me hard. Oh, okay, let's finish this fucking thing.
As Prime Minister, I will double the Canada Workers Benefit, introduce a new employee savings account for gig workers,
Oh, that's what we
and
need.
expand paid sick leave for workers with serious illnesses. Together, we will secure the future for all Canadian workers. I want to wish everyone a safe and relaxing Labor Day weekend.
So, technically, as a gig worker, what the fuck is
Thank
a
you, Muda
savings
Supreme,
account?
for gifting a sub to. Huh?
Yes, thank you. What did you say, huh, to?
Savings account?
Yeah, he said he was going to create a savings account for gig workers. For gig workers,
Oh yeah.
introduce a new employee savings account.
Yes. So instead of them having to pay benefits, the companies will instead pay into a savings account for their employees so that they can use that money in the savings account to pay for expenses rather than just like giving them employer health insurance or any sort of benefits.
Yeah, just make dental universal. Like, what is your worry, O'Toole? That
Yeah.
poor people are going to have their teeth
I think
fixed?
I think maybe it's paying into like for EI and stuff like that. Because I don't know if they
Okay.
currently do that because they're like contract workers, technically like,
I
independent
mean, this is the thing that like confuses
contractors
me.
rather than workers under Canadian law or whatever bullshit.
Because like I technically fall under the class of gig worker because I'm doing like podcasting and Patreon and this shit. But then it's like I don't really have like a boss. Like the relationship between me and Twitch. I mean, maybe it's kind of similar to like Uber drivers and Uber, but it's slightly different. Like I don't know. I don't know how this. It just seems like these kind of plans just are so silly and inefficient. Gig workers who can barely break even can now have a savings account. uh, yeah, a lot of people have been commenting on the secure the future thing, and my I don't know if it was intentional or not, but it's I think intentional or not will appeal to those types, which is gross in itself. Which should have suggested to them that maybe they didn't stay with it. Because I feel like people have been loud and vocal enough about it that it should sink in, but nope. You hit my light here. Anyways, let's see Jugmeat now. See if that was a great place to visit. See if Jugmeat has anything special to say on Labor Day.
See,
People
this is
are-
your dad who smokes weed.
Yeah.
People are deeply worried about the spread of the coronavirus, and they want to do their part. Now, the Liberal government has suggested that people who might be infected should self-quarantine and stay at home from work. That's very difficult for a worker who doesn't have sick leave. Will the Prime Minister commit today to ensuring that all workers have paid sick leave? Will the Prime Minister commit?
Will this Prime Minister commit
Today to improve access to the paid sick leave program? We're saying what we need to do immediately is make it easier to get paid sick leave and protect workers. Sadly, Mr. Speaker, people are still faced with the impossible choice because they cannot access the paid sick leave. Experts agree that improving the federal paid sick leave program will save lives. So why does this Prime Minister hide behind excuses when we're saying improve the program that's already there? So will the Prime Minister do that and save lives?
Every step of the way we said we need better paid sick leave. And Justin Trudeau said, oh, it's not my job, it's not my jurisdiction. He said no again and again.
Yeah, I don't know how that's going to resonate, but after having read the Liberal script that we read earlier, this advertisement is good in contrast with that. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Which is like, they're like, oh yeah, we'll do the sick leave, and then this is showing that over like an entire year, Singh has been fighting for it.
No,
And
I
the
did
Liberals
really
give up.
love
Yeah.
the montage of him just like saying it over and over and over again.
And then throwing it in with Justin Trudeau said no to sick leave for workers when they needed it most, so he could promise it in an election.
That part was also just like, yeah, you got it. You got him.
I know, and like, here's the thing is, I know I'm biased. I'm already going to be voting for him, all that fun shit. But like, I don't know. His stuff is landing for me, obviously, because I already agree with it. I think maybe some of the other shit will land for other people. But, I mean, at least the one thing we can say is with the conservative thing is he does have the charisma. That was the one good thing about the O'Toole thing. Content,
Well,
not so much.
And look at the there was a campaign song from 2019. Can we listen to the campaign song from 2019?
Where was this?
But Tukar mentioned that that the ads are good, but he's really missing the campaign song from 2019.
That reminded me of something.
But what was it? I don't know, like just the difference between like now versus Mulcair type of thing, where it's like, yeah, like I probably would have voted NDP regardless, but it's like, you know, there being a leader where it's like, oh yeah, I actually like the dude, and
And the
he
politics,
says good
too.
shit.
Yeah.
Is
I mean,
like, yeah,
the only thing I can remember from the Mulcair thing was only thing I can remember was him dancing to Hotline Bling on like a comedy show.
Oh my
That
God,
is the
no.
only thing I can fucking remember about his thing. So I want to play this. I got reminded on it because of what Tukar said. But this was a Liberal ad where I actually liked it, but not for the ad itself. What I liked was this fucking tune is banging. We can just ignore the whole like content.
I don't remember that, Mo. Healthcare Mulcair? That's so good.
It's kind of cringe though. It's just
Yeah, no, it's really like it's not good, but it's good.
all right. So here's this epic Liberal tune here.
Fuck yeah.
No, this advertisement out of all the Liberal advertisements so far, I'm like, I'm gonna start a new business and get a government loan and start exploiting some workers. All right. The fucking synth solo.
Oh, we got the power stance there.
This song is incredible. I was talking to Elrod about it, and it feels, you know what it feels like? In like in an 80s movie, it's the montage before the final battle. You know, it's like
Yeah.
it's like in Footloose where they're like getting ready for the prom, but they're like aware that like it could get shut down any minute, and so there's like some tension there, but like there's just like cuts of them hanging the balloons and like
I think I've seen Footloose. Good God.
I know. Well, I mean, it's 80s. None of the films are going to be in your
Okay.
age range. Name me an 80s
Also,
movie
Mo
you've seen.
posted a YouTube link. Star Wars.
I guess technically, sure. I think Return of the
Yeah.
Jedi was the only one in the 80s, wasn't it? Or did
Well,
Empire Strikes Back
Here we go.
do it as well? Okay, here.
I think the first one was 79, wasn't it? So,
Okay.
okay, Mulcair.
Really easy in this election. Childcare, healthcare, pharmacare, Mulcare.
I'm convinced.
Okay, that's all we need to see. I don't think we need to say
I'm
anything.
convinced. You know?
That was
Let's
just
go
the
back in time.
uproar
Like,
in the background immediately after he said it.
oh, it's the delay too. It's the delay before the applause.
Really easy in this election. Childcare, healthcare, pharmacare, Mulcare.
I'm sure you.
I wonder why he lost.
Hello, my rebels. Hello, my rebels. I'm a good boy. I'm a weirdo.